everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a 3D mandala using cardstock. I bought the design from CuttingMuse on Etsy and it comes as a zip file which you can easily upload to design space. The images are large to begin with, but I scaled this down to fit onto A4. I cut out the first design and peeled this gently from the mat. It helps to bend the mat slightly to get underneath. And the card I'm using is just standard card from Hobbycraft. I think it's 180 GSM, which was cut using the standard fine point blade and on the cardstock setting. Now you'll probably see from this one, this was my second attempt at cutting. It doesn't always cut perfect first time, but just be patient with it. It may be the case that you end up using more card than you anticipated, but just stick with it. This design is a total of 8 layers. And between each layer I used foam dots, as you'll see shortly. So you'll see here I'm bending the mat just to get slightly underneath, and again just be real patient with it. You may find that in the design majority of it cuts perfect, but some of it doesn't, so you might have to go back in with either scissors or a weeding tool just to get rid of all the little bits that remain. As you'll see, once you sort of get a start on it, it is a lot easier to just pull it off. Thankfully, this is a new mat, so all of the remnants, the bits that we don't want, stick to the mat. So it saves me hours and hours weeding out all these tiny little pieces. There's a slight bend in it because of how it's stuck to the mat, but we can smooth this out later. So this is how we layer the first 2 layers. So these are the foam dots I'm using. I bought these from Hobbycraft, but you can also get them on Etsy, Amazon. So you want to stick them in sections that you know is going to be covered by the next layer on top. I just sped this up. They can be quite tricky to peel the little bits off of the top. Again, this whole project just takes patience. So we want to line this up as best we can. So the wheel in the middle, each sort of spoke lines up. It may take a few attempts. And then you can use the rest of the pattern as well to help line up where it needs to be. And then I just push down on the area where the dots are just to make it stick properly. And there's our first 2 layers. And you can see that they keep it separated with the foam dots to help make it even more 3D. So this is the next layer. I didn't really stick to any colour patterns. I just picked colours that I liked and it just sort of worked out. Again, I've just put the foam dots in this one. I was holding this one up to try and get the light in behind it, so it helps line up a bit better. It may help to flip it over to help line up the wheel again in the middle. It's just a bit of trial and error really. Just push down on the dots to make them stick. And there we have 3 layers. Next layer. The designs get less and less intricate obviously as they get further back, but some of the cuts do get smaller, so it's definitely worth going through and make sure all of the little pieces have come out. Again, pop your foam dots on. Layer up. Now the smaller layers are at the front of the design. I didn't have a chance to include in this video. You can chop your foam dots in half or in quarters if it's easier to make it so that you can't see the foam dots underneath. I have seen tips where people have recommended that you colour them in if they are visible. So this is now going on to the back piece. And here's the final product.